Hi guys, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio reading slash first week in May tarot card reading and energy reading. So I am just going to start off about talking about the full moon in Scorpio and the energies surrounding that and how that's all leading into this next week for us all, the first week of May. So the energy of Scorpio is all about death and rebirth. So this last weekend and into this whole following week, we are all going to be dealing with a lot of releasing, letting go. We're going to be dealing with facing a lot of issues that we're not prepared for or that scare us, right? That force us to come out of our shell. And that force us to kind of push through and work through our emotions whenever they come up and learn how to trust in ourselves and have faith that whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen and it is going to be the best. And that's kind of something that has to do with Scorpio also, is having that undying faith. No matter what happens, you know that it is going to be okay and that you are going to make it out on the other end, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. No matter how shitty a situation is, you're going to come out on top, no matter what. At the end of it all, you're going to come out on top. And that any hard situations that you're being put through right now are going to force you into a higher state of being, or they're going to put you in a better situation for your future. And I've already seen so many people dealing with the craziest situations this last weekend, and I've been guiding a couple people, just this last weekend through some hard stuff, and it's just one of those things where you have to know that everything's going to be okay. And it's really hard when you're faced with a circumstance that you don't know if it is going to be okay or not, but you still have to have faith. Okay, so that all being said, full moon in Scorpio, we're moving out of that today and the next day or two. But anytime there's a full moon, the energy tends to last for 3 to 4 days before and after it happens. So that transformative energy is still going to be present this week. So starting off the week, we have the Detective, which is great for Scorpio because I am a Scorpio and I grew up reading murder mysteries, and I wrote a murder mystery when I was little. So the Detective. Great powers of observation and intuition, the desire to seek out truth. And as we know, Scorpios are very intuitive. So right now is a time for everyone to kind of get in touch with their own intuition and learn how to trust it. And it's one of those things that you can't really prove. How do you prove intuition? Well, you can't, other than you just have to experience it yourself. When you have a thought and you're not sure how you know it, you just know, that's called your intuition. Ways that you can get this proven to you is you'll think of someone and then they'll text you. Or you'll think of someone and they'll like your Instagram post. That's one way to be connected to your intuition. And the next card we have is the Pioneer. So this week is very much about getting in touch with your own energy, centering yourself in your own energy, and just illuminating that within yourself. Passion for doing and creating what has not been done before, right? So us being in our power and, centering in our heart chakras and going forward with what we want to do and what we are passionate about is what this whole entire week is going to be based on. Going within, trusting yourself, following your guidance, and doing that no matter what. And having faith within that. Okay, and so the next few cards are kind of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. So I'm kind of just going to read through them all, and then I'll kind of go into detail with both as I go. Okay, so we have the Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. And there's this unicorn that's sitting in the center of the field, and he's just exhausted, you know? He's just like, oh man, like, I'm so over this, like, are we there yet, kind of thing? Like, somebody just stressing themselves out, but, like, it being, like, you're causing yourself way more stress than you need to, right? Like, it is all going to be okay. Just like I said, like following your intuition and knowing that you are going to make it. Like, you know exactly what you want and you're going to go for it and it's going to be fine. The next card is balance. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. And the next card is the Lovers. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. And then the next card we have is ego, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So on either side of the spectrum here, we have negative fear-based thoughts and expecting the worst and self-fulfilling prophecies. So both divine masculine and divine feminine are kind of like psyching themselves out right now. And, you know, they're both kind of centering themselves in like fear. And I think it's, you know, really easy when you have a relationship come up in your life, like everybody has, like, it seems like a lot of the time, like people make it way harder than it needs to be, right? Like we all like freak out and like some people like create this big like picture of like what they think it needs to be or what it is going to be or what it is, instead of just like dropping the ego and just living in the moment. And that's all that really matters is right now, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't really plan your future as much as people want to think that they can. Like you can to a certain extent, but like the most important thing for this week is going to be focusing on living in the moment. And when it comes to relationships, if you have a relationship in your life, just be happy for it. Like be happy about it. Don't think about it too much. Like don't put too much, don't put any fear into it. Don't put any stress on it. Just like be in it. Like be grateful for it. Have fun with it. Be playful. The next card is the third eye chakra, and it says it's safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So again, it's just like letting everyone know that it is safe to be in the energy of love. And that there is no reason to be afraid of that at any point in your life. Anytime that it comes into your life, it's a gift. And it's very important for you to just be grateful for it and be centered in your gratitude for whatever reason this person's in your life. They're teaching you something, right? So just be grateful for that and just only think about that. Think about the gratitude from the situation. And believe it or not, it says that the connection that you have right now is a past life situation. The situation has basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. So a lot of people, like, we all come back together at one point or another, and it's because we have unfinished business, or we've agreed to come back together again because we enjoy each other's company, or we are meant to work through certain issues to come into harmony. And I really think that that's like the whole entire point of being in love, is like moving into harmony with another being, because you have to put yourself completely out there in order to have that fulfilling harmony, right? But the other part of it is you have to be in harmony with your own self first, right? So these fear-based thoughts and these self-fulfilling prophecies and expecting the worst are kind of creating like a weird boundary that doesn't need to be there. So you just have to drop that shit. Just stop it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, don't make it such a huge deal. Just, like I said, be grateful and just center yourself in the love and just be there, and that's it. Just be in love, and that's it. Let that loving energy kind of like surround you, so that if you start to get stressed out and like you start to feel this like these weird thoughts that you know are like your ego trying to like talk you out of it, like just be like, hey, shut up. Like, no, stop. Like, recenter yourself, focus on like what you want to be feeling, and just like focus on happiness. Like, I don't think we do that enough. We don't just like allow ourselves to be happy. And it's so important to do that. So that's kind of what we're all going to be focusing on this week, is focusing on feeling happy and just being happy. The next card says that you have very high manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. So in any situation that you find yourself in this week, you can use your manifestation power to create the outcome that you desire. May that be at work, may it be at school, may it be with one of your friends or someone that you are in a relationship with, if it's with your parents, your brothers, sisters, whatever. Any kind of situation that you're kind of struggling with on any level, just focus on what you want to happen. Like, what do you want to see happen with the situation? Something I like to do is I like to already imagine myself in the situation having what I want with that person. And that's kind of how you create that. Like, you kind of get the energy flowing and going, and then you can actually attract it to yourself quicker. So that's what we're going to focus on this week, is attracting the desired outcome that you want in any situation that you find yourself in this week. The next card is the sacral chakra. You're highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. So that's interesting. It's basically time to just do a cleanse. Cleanse all the shit out of your life, right? Like, if you have shitty people in your life, see ya, peace out. Like, it's over, it's done with. Like, we don't have time for that anymore, right? Life is short. We're kind of like in this period where we're like creating what we want. It's a time of creation. And so in order to really get in like your highest vibration, you have to cleanse everything out of your life that's not serving you your highest good. That definitely includes what you're eating, when you're eating, if you're eating enough, which most of us aren't, or some of us are overeating. There's like really an imbalance, and balance is one of the cards that we all need to find balance and moderation this week. If you're like drinking too much, if you're eating processed foods this week, just try to not do that. Like, just try really, really hard to like cook all your meals at home, make sure they're balanced nutrition, like make sure it's like proteins balanced with vegetables so that you have enough fuel to get through the week, and just stay away from processed stuff. And yeah, like I said, if you have toxic people in your life, it's time to release them. And you don't ever have to feel guilty about doing that. Anytime that someone is a toxic person in your life and you know that you've like come to a plateau with the person, just let them go, man. Like, you don't have to do it anymore. You just don't. Like, and that's what this is telling us this week. Like, it's time to release all of the negative energy in our life so that we can move forward and we can create the life that we want. That's what we're doing in May. Okay, the next card is Love Abounds. I love this card because it really is just talking about focusing on yourself, focusing on who you are, and really tapping into that energy and letting that energy completely fill your surroundings. Like I said, when you're feeling stressed out, just sit and breathe for a minute and just let that like energy fill you up. Go outside, drink some water, just take a couple deep breaths and center yourself in your own energy, and remember that you are love. That's who we all truly are, is we are love. We are nothing else. And kind of let that guide you this week. Like, remember that love is the one true thing that matters the most. Okay, so the next card it's called Control. And this image is a person that has this heart necklace around their neck, right? And this goes back to talking about relationships and how we like clench on so hard to an idea of what we think a relationship is or is supposed to be. And, that really sometimes messes everything up. You don't have to think that it's supposed to be any certain way. The wings are kind of like wrapped around the shoulders of this person, and like they want to fly free in love and they want to create like this wonderful life, but they're not allowing themselves to. They're like literally holding themselves down because they have this idea of what they think love is supposed to be, and it's like this little gray heart around their neck, when really if they would just like step back and chill out for a second, then they could like actually like go into their heart chakra and really let that love come out of their heart and like open, you know? Like you have to open up your heart in order to receive love from someone else as well. Because if you're all closed off and like freaked out and like, I don't know about this, then you're not going to get what you want out of a situation either. You have to be open to it. You have to just like be fully present in any situation that happens. That's, you know, owning your truth. You have to own your truth in this situation and learn how to be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with that. In order to get what you want in life, sometimes you do have to be vulnerable, especially when it's in love. You can't put walls up and expect to get any further. You have to learn how to open yourself up and be able to communicate, you know, energetically and physically, you know. And of course, the next card we have is open up. You have to open up. You have to just let it happen, you know. We can't like go on not opening up. Like we can't keep closing ourselves off. Like it's just wasting our own time. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like afraid to have like a real relationship, but it's like how much time does everyone waste like just having kind of like subpar relationships that don't end up meaning a whole lot to us? Or, you know, they could have if both parties would have been like more present. So this week it's saying like, give yourself the opportunity to experience more than you usually do. Because why the hell not? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You could get hurt, but I mean, don't we all anyways at some point? It's like, that's an unavoidable thing in life, is that you're going to get hurt eventually. So instead of just focusing on that with our self-fulfilling prophecies and expecting the worst and having fear-based thoughts, instead of doing that whole thing that we've been doing forever, we can kind of move into opening our hearts up and just going for it. Just once. Just this once. Just try it. See what happens. It could be the coolest thing in the entire universe. Why not, you know? Just do it for the first week of May. Let's just try it. Why not? And, okay, so the last card is coming together, which is the Two of Hearts. Isn't that just perfect? So it's the energy of two people opening themselves up and allowing that energy to come together. You know? So that's literally like, that's what this whole entire week is about, is releasing our fear-based thoughts that we've like let control our entire lives on every single level, learning to like feel safe when you're with someone that you care about and know that it is okay, that it's not going to lead you astray, that you are supposed to be in this situation and that you can attract your desired outcome with the situation. You just have to think about it and like have faith in that. Detox this week. It says good health and detox on two different cards. So that's a huge thing. Drink more water, eat healthier, don't eat processed foods, don't drink as much or at all that stuff. A need for balance. It was saying that you need to balance and moderation with everything right now. Focus on your heart chakra, open yourself up. Don't get so lost in like having an idea of what your life is supposed to be like. Instead of doing that, just kind of like release the control a little bit. Take your hands off the reins and just kind of like sit and enjoy the scenery for a minute. Just be like, wow, this is so beautiful. Look at this gift I've been given. I'm just going to sit here and like be in it. And I'm going to be grateful. And finally, the last two cards that I pulled kind of like to finish the reading off is I cherish the simple pleasures in life and soaring into joy. Childlike wonder fills my life. So these are very much just saying like, just enjoy it. Just enjoy your life this week. Like, don't think about anything too seriously. You don't need to. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we have to take everything so damn seriously. we can just be grateful, say thank you, have fun, be happy, like just celebrate life this week. Just kind of go into it and be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the people that you have in your life that you love. Tell them that. Hang out with them. Spend time. Go do something fun together. Or just relax. Like, don't do anything if you don't want to, you know? Just, like, make it a point to own your truth this week and to kind of let go of whatever things that you've been thinking about. Just, like, let them go. Just have fun. Be grateful. Sit and enjoy the scenery. Say thank you. Open your heart chakra. Be inside of that. Let that loving energy surround you and just be love this week, okay? And remember, may the 4th be with you. Love you guys. Bye.